breathtaking, right?
Oh.
How do you like how I do that transition?
Hello.
This man is on fire, and by the way, he does it with zero sleep. Okay, he's definitely we had more sleep than him, and we were on a 24-hour flight to New Zealand. We folks, if you're just joining us, we are in beautiful Auckland, New Zealand, broadcasting live for IFCO Television, where we're celebrating 121 years since the discovery of chiropractic, and we are, of course, at New Zealand Chiropractic College's annual premier event, the Lyceum, if you will. And, of course, my co-host here, Dr. Judd O'Grady, my name is Dr. Liam Schubel, and to my stage left, we have Dr. Phil McMaster joining us.
Liam, pleasure always.
Always a pleasure to be with you, my friend. And I thoroughly enjoyed your presentation this morning. Again, with this theme of collaboration, this theme of what do we have in common in chiropractic and how can we move this puck forward. So in essence, because this is why we're all doing this, in essence, the people of this world can start to express their lives in the optimal fashion.
Absolutely. I think we need to get to that critical point where we have enough momentum, and I think we're only going to get that momentum if we can all actually find the common threads to get that synchronicity and resonance together to really enhance and embrace the power behind that. And once we do that, I think then it'll be self-perpetuating to a large extent. I think we've been a little bit fragmented, but I have great hope for the future of chiropractic that if we get enough like minds together, moving with action according to their why, their purpose, then I think I have great hopes.
Well, you, sir, are unstoppable. What we've seen here is you have an ability to work with others, to pick top-level professionals. I mean, we've seen that in every aspect. Top-level students, right? And it's very exciting to be here, IFCO Television, with New Zealand Chiropractic College. But I have to tell you, there are some people out there that are watching this that have been living under a rock for the past few years, right? You can see that guy over there, he's living under a rock. And they may not have an understanding of, you're the president of New Zealand Chiropractic College, but you have some very great stories about how you got involved in chiropractic, and then how did you become the president of New Zealand Chiropractic College? How did New Zealand Chiropractic College come into existence? I have a lot of questions for you, because to me, from where I'm standing, right? I've seen a tremendous transformation in just since 2011, since I've been here, to where we are now. You are on absolute thrival mode. I know there's got to be a lot of people that would love to know, how did you do it, and who is this person, and why is he doing what he's doing?
Well, there's a number of questions here, as you say.
So go ahead.
Okay. Well, I think maybe address the last one.
Okay.
I've always been very much a team person. I don't do anything special, but I've always loved sport. I've played a lot of rugby and cricket in New Zealand, and it's my other passion.
Yeah.
And I tend to apply principles of team, and I've not only played in sports teams, I've managed and coached.
Okay.
And so I tend to apply those same principles as a player, coach, manager, and those relationships. They're applied pretty much across the board at the college. It's what I know. It's the only thing I know. I haven't read too many books about it or done too many seminars on it. And if it seems to work well, then that's great. But you talk about picking high caliber people. I have found that people who resonate with that kind of message have also been involved in teams before themselves, and possibly at a high level, and they understand that culture. So we've actually built a culture in the college, as you say, that transformation maybe since 2011, where we've got people like Ash and Katie on board who are graduates of the college and understand that point of view, but also have embraced this sort of team environment where we sort of devolve responsibility down to the senior players, if you like, so that it becomes more or less a self-regulating organisation. If there's some problems, some situations that need healing, they tend to heal better if the team take that on as a responsibility overall, rather than someone from the top banging with a stick.
Got it.
So I suppose if I had to encapsulate, if I have been able to produce a style of some kind that seems to be working, that would be it. And it's not, well, it is by design, but it's kind of what I know.
Got it.
So that's where that's come from. And my sort of introduction to chiropractic, the thing that got me interested in chiropractic initially was just that I heard the principles. I heard about what chiropractic was from a Sherman graduate.
Oh, okay.
And as a 17-year-old was just totally turned on to it straight away, and I have no idea why, other than the fact that I think my mother was essentially a vitalist. She didn't know she was. I didn't know she was until I found out more about this, and it was sort of in my DNA. So it clicked.
Now, you're a New Zealander, correct?
Yes.
And I believe you were mentioning you actually have you're part Maori. Is that?
Yeah.
Can you explain what is Maori for the people of the rest of the world?
The Maoris are the indigenous people of New Zealand. They were the first ones here, and they, interestingly enough, their whole sort of philosophy is very consistent with ours.
Yeah.
It's all about family. It's all about support, and interestingly, it's a bit of a no ownership thing.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and so when you look at Maori traditions, it's very much similar to what we talk about in terms of, and I spoke about it this morning, as our collaborative approach, and everyone has their responsibilities, but again, it tends to be across the board. So, for instance, in the family environment, the grandparents have a very, very important role, and their role is basically to bring up the children.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Wow.
and we've sort of moved away from that in modern day life, and I think it would be something we should have a look at, because I think society has perhaps broken down somewhat because of the fact that the family unit seems to have been fragmented to some extent. The Maoris take that very seriously, and it's almost a formality that certain people have certain roles. I mean, if you were a part of my iwi or my tribe, you'd probably be uncle, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, and I often talk about the Maori elders. They have a role, the kaumatua, and the kaumatua are the ones that have walked the long walk. They've got the wisdom, they've got the experience, and they are revered in this environment, and are given basically the role of imparting the wisdom. So the older generation are not kind of left out; they're actually embraced. So it's a pretty good model, and it's really gaining some momentum in New Zealand.
It's certainly a model, and I can tell you that is practiced here. One of the things I find unusual about, or unique, I should say, about New Zealand Chiropractic Lyceum is you see a lot of silver heads here, as we call them, the gray hairs, which in many chiropractic events throughout the United States I've been to, you don't see that. It's just the youth. It's people spend maybe the first 20 years in practice, and then the older people just don't come back and are they don't give back to the profession. It seems that the strategy that you have and this understanding and application of these principles seems to attract people that have been in. I met people here this weekend that worked with Clarence Gonstead, right? I mean I've met in previous occasions people that have worked even with BJ Palmer. There's a relationship with the history of chiropractic and with some of the great mentors of chiropractic and inventors of chiropractic and technicians of chiropractic, philosophers of chiropractic. All that's, we were in the Reggie Gold room the other day. All that's embraced here, and there's a fomentation of that relationship between the elders and the young whippersnappers, in the profession.
It's funny, I hadn't really thought about that in those terms, but when I think about it now, you're right. When I go to these seminars in other parts of the world, you don't see as many as you say. I wanted to be a silverhead. I'm not going to make it. I don't think it's just on the sides a wee bit. I see you getting
I'm
there.
getting there.
You're getting there.
Thanks for noticing.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. But yeah, and I think it's been a rich heritage of chiropractic in New Zealand, because it was New Zealand was the first country in the world to be nationally regulated. Chiropractic was first national legislation was in New Zealand. There've been a number of firsts. Of course, the Royal Commission of Inquiry in 1979 was a landmark document for chiropractic all around the world, and I think there's a very, very clear wish of this profession here, anyway, in New Zealand, to acknowledge the past and embrace what was good about it, but also be quite progressive, but true to what we consider to be very important principle-wise. So the older generation actually do provide some grounding, I think, in a lot of respects.
Absolutely. And then, you talk about being progressive. How impressive is it, the research program that you have here? It really is the most progressive on the planet right now as far as chiropractic. Can you talk a little bit about your research program?
Well, yeah, I think the reason that our research program is probably gaining the momentum that it currently has is primarily because the research team is being driven by our graduates. So they have come from that background, but they have gone on and got PhDs in neurology, neurophysiology, and we've recruited other PhDs. So they still have that very, very clear chiropractic purpose. And so I think as a result of that, we have had research that has been very much about demonstrating clearly the correction of vertebral subluxation and the benefits of, in terms of brain function and overall function. And Heidi Horvick and Kelly Holt and the team are very, very committed to maintaining that point of view. And I think that's what's probably given them, because it's different.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yes.
But it's different. It's truly chiropractic, and that's what's made it different.
Yeah.
So all these years, the research that's been labelled chiropractic probably hasn't reflected what the profession really wanted.
Right.
So,
and there's this false idea that there is no research, right? And I mean, this morning at your presidential breakfast, we heard Dr. Heidi talking about they have close to 50 papers that are being that are about to be published. I mean, it's an overwhelming level of research, and she keeps moving the puck forward and farther forward and farther forward. It's phenomenal to see that level of participation, that level of focus on exactly what you say is the core essence of what is chiropractic, and then being able to show that in the scientific world. The other thing that is good to see in your chiropractic school is that it is growing. I think you mentioned this morning that you're in a position right now that I tell you a lot of other presidents of chiropractic colleges would love to be in. You have more students applying for positions than there are positions available at this point. So your focus is picking the cream of the crop, right? The best of the best.
Yeah. Our mission is to educate great people to become the world's best chiropractors. So we recognise that in order to be true to that, we had to attract some great people in. And having some choices really does make that a little easier. And it is a choice that we've made. We have no wish to be the biggest chiropractic college in the world, but we do wish to be the small giants of the profession. And that's about influence, that's about excellence and standards, and setting the bar, if you like. And I feel we're getting close to that.
Well, I've definitely seen it over the past 4 or 5 years. The things that people used to say to me on the road, New Zealand Chiropractic College, there's a school there, And now it's, hey, did you hear about that school in New Zealand Chiropractic College? They're phenomenal. Their research program is outstanding. Their talk to tick competitors, the students, they're winning global recognition. There's so many aspects of New Zealand Chiropractic College that is leading the way, and we appreciate your leadership, Dr. Phil McMaster.
Thank you.
In bringing that forward. In words of closing, 15 minutes always just flies by.
It does,
like
doesn't
it? Can you, for the folks that are out there watching, maybe students that are prospective students or doctors that would like to maybe refer students, or people that are interested in investing in the future of New Zealand Chiropractic College, how can they get in touch?
Well, obviously the best way to do that is through our website at www.chiropracticac.nz or NZ, wherever you come from. Basically everything that you need in terms of information about us, who we are, what we stand for, and how you can support us is on that site. It's real easy to get around it. And, I have to say, some of you very, very kind words. And I have to say I'm just really, really proud of the whole team at the college here, and actually of our whole profession in New Zealand, because I think one of the things that has somewhat allowed us to have the success that we've had, if we could say that, is the fact that we are very, very well supported by the profession in New Zealand. More so than what I see in a lot of other places around the world.
Well, Dr. Phil, we appreciate your invite here for IFCO Television. I remember we spoke a few weeks back, and you said, hey, what's the chances of getting IFCO Television over at the New Zealand Chiropractic College Lyceum? And I said, we'll make that happen as long as you provide the sparkling water, which you did. Right? And I remember Dr. Frankie Hahn, who invented this whole IFCO Television, telling me, this is like last week we're planning the people that we're going to interview, and he says, Schubel, you're taking too much on. There's no way you're going to be able to coordinate all that from the United States. And I think I sent you one email, and within an hour or two, we had all our speakers lined up. You have a phenomenal team. Your leadership is absolutely phenomenal. We've met your board of trustees here, the staff, the students. Congratulations, Dr. Phil, on all the work that you're doing and your team is doing. And I got to tell you, from the chiropractic perspective, thank you for all you do for TIC and for the people of the world. We appreciate you.
Thank you, and thank you for coming. It's been really good.
Our pleasure.
Yeah, cheers. The next person you're going to speak to, she's the glue.
Got it.
She's the glue, all right?
All right, fantastic. I mean, you talk about quality. That's the buzzword over here. Quality. The quality of chiropractic education. Dr. Phil McMaster, of course, president of the New Zealand Chiropractic College.